Welcome to Slinging the Slang, the video podcast where we take a look at our slang, our idioms, our jargon, meanings, origins, everything from the funny and absurd to the absolutely ridiculous. I'm Slangman David Burke, author of 30 books on popular American slang.
And I'm Monica Mauro, Director of Education for an English Language School in Southern California. And David, I am a lifelong lover of slang.
I thought you were, and I'm glad you've underscored that for us, because we got some slang for you in this episode. First of all, if you are new to our show, our format is very simple. I know the topic. I know what we're going to be talking about. Monica hasn't a clue, has no idea, so it kind of gives us the element of surprise and shock because we never know what Monica is going to say. If you have any questions, please let us know at Slinging the Slang. Tweet us. We'd love to hear from you. If you're just a lover of language or if you're a non-native speaker of English, we want to hear from you. So get your tweets going. And so I always like to start with a little bit of language trivia for Monica. So Monica, my language trivia of the day for you is, okay.
I'm waiting with bated breath, David.
Okay, so Monica, what expression do we have? What idiom do you think we have that confuses the living daylights, which there's an idiom that probably confuses non-native speakers. What idiom do we have that is probably one of the most confusing to non-native speakers? I read this today.
Okay, well, just going by my experience at school, I want to say it's when you say, when you use a negative. I'm trying to think. Well, a lot of slang and idioms are confusing. But what is the most confusing?
When you say a negative, you mean like when we say something negatively. For example, if you said to me, "Do you mind if I sit next to you?" and I said, "Sure."
Yes.
Well, actually,
yes.
That's confusing because I just insulted you, right? Do you mind? Yes, I do. Right. Or the one that Americans confuse all the time. It drives me crazy. And if you do this, sorry, drives me crazy. I could care less. It's I couldn't care less. I could care less means, yeah, I could care less. Well, go ahead, care less. But it's I could not care less. But my favorite variation of that is, I forgot which writer said this. I couldn't care less more. That's my favorite. Love that.
Even that's confusing for me, and I'm a native speaker.
I know. Listen, I recognized you had a pause there. I could hear the wheels going. That sounds right to me.
The wheels grinding away, right? Yeah.
That sounded just fine. I think we talked about this also last time in one of our shows, how my mom would always say when I'd knock on her door, if I would say, "Mom, it's me," she would say, "Nope, it is not me. It is I." But she's correct, but she's not correct in everyday speech. Colloquially, as we say, which means how everybody really does speak, even though it's grammatically, academically incorrect, everyday speech, it is correct. Well, here's the thing. So I want you to tell me something, Monica. This is really fascinating to me. And this part's going to be controversial. Every now and then, it's not just fun and games. Sometimes it's controversial. So, Monica, I want you to tell me, in these three statements, actually one question, two statements, which one of these is completely, as of today, I guess, unacceptable because it's actually considered racist?
Oh,
which one of these? If someone says, "What city are you from?" racist or not?
Oh.
Well, now I've got you scared.
It could be racist just because a person. Well, okay. Usually when you ask that question, it's because someone might have a dialect or an accent and you're curious about it. You're not necessarily turned off by it.
Right.
I love accent. My husband has a beautiful Portuguese accent. And the
Right.
first thing I asked him was, where are you from?
Right.
Because I couldn't nail down his accent. He's from Brazil.
Right.
And so, and I married him. So, that certainly wasn't racist. I think most people ask that when they detect some kind of dialect. It's usually not something that they say later. Maybe if you have a point of view,
So
and you might say, where are
interested.
you from? That you still believe in the rule of thumb. I mean,
Right.
okay, I'm going to say I'm taking the long route around to the house. Here I am. I'm at the door. I don't think it's racist.
I agree with you. Now, what's interesting, some cultures consider some of our normal questions to be offensive. Like, it's interesting. If I asked you what you do for a living, that's fine. But it's fine. So, Monica, what do you do for a living?
No, I don't like that one. Because you know what that's really saying? How much money do you make? And it's like, it's none of your business how much money
I always think of it as, do we have some connection points? Is there some commonalities? Because in France, that's a complete no-no. That's a total no-no. But
it's a no-no here. I mean, I think it's a no-no here. I can't stand when people say, what do you do?
Well, I mean, if you said it that way, so what do you do?
What do you do?
Who are you?
But David, wait. Something just flashed in my head about where are you from? To my mother, that is very offensive. And I'll tell you why.
Uh-huh.
My mother is bilingual.
Right. Spanish.
And she has been speaking English probably longer than she has. Well, she learned English while she was learning Spanish.
Right.
But later in life, she only spoke English. So my mother thinks she does not have an accent. Now, my mother's wrong.
And she does have an accent?
My mother has a slight accent, and it's beautiful, and it makes her very unique. And I see it as a very positive, along with probably everybody else that says to her,
accents are beautiful.
Where are you from? Because and they will follow it up with, I'm detecting
a I do that all the time.
And see, I would find that fascinating. And I would also find it an opportunity to flex, to show off. Yes, I'm bilingual. I know 2 languages.
And you might too.
I can read in it, and I can speak in it. 2 languages. I bet you can't. Yes, I speak Spanish. But for my mom, it's like, wait a minute. I don't have an accent. She doesn't want to have an American accent when she speaks Spanish. She doesn't want to have have a Spanish accent when she speaks English. She wants it to be so perfect. And it's like, well, it's actually a plus. I think it's interesting. I think
it makes
people
sense.
ask her that because they're interested.
When you're learning another language, you kind of want to be able to pass for a native. So, for example, if I went to France and spoke French and they said, what part of LA are you from? I'd feel kind of bad. I'd want them to, say to me, oh, look at that American over there. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, you want to pass. Okay. We just got way off the track, but we're still on the topic of this new weird, I shouldn't even say weird.
Okay, well, wait.
You'd be the judge. Which sentence is racist?
Okay, so
for you, it's not racist to say, what city are you from?
Yes, not racist.
Polite to some. Okay, how about this one?
Okay.
My parents were born in Hungary.
My parents were born in Hungary?
Yeah, in Hungary, the country. Is there anything racist about that sentence?
No.
I agree. There is nothing racist about that sentence. Oh. You passed. Okay, so I'm throwing in some really normal ones too, just because I'm getting you thinking now. And this is what happens to all of us about being PC, politically correct. We get so uptight about it, we start to think everything is wrong. We start tripping over our words,
or that it will be taken wrong.
That'll be taken, and that's the worst. To me, that's the worst part. And we do that a lot, and then we just shut up instead of
you stop
trying.
Talking.
You stop talking. Then you're afraid to fail. So, how about this one? I'm in the medical field.
I don't think that's racist. I think that's well, No, there's nothing. I'm in the medical field. What's wrong with that? I think it'd be funny if you say, "Well, I'm a doctor," and no one's even, you're at the grocery store and you walk up to somebody and goes, "May I have those hot dogs? By the way, I'm a doctor." That wouldn't be racist. It would just be like really braggy and pathetic.
Well, unless the person may need a doctor. Actually, that sentence, "I'm in the medical field," is now considered, are you sitting down? Racist.
Well, okay.
The word field.
Explain that one to me.
So field, I'm out on the field today. I'm not going to be in the office. The word field is now being talked about like crazy on the internet because it has to do with, to some people, slavery, when slaves were out in the field.
Well, so farmers are in the field. Today, they're farmers in the field.
There are, but that word may be changed to out in the crops. Who knows? It's a big, see, this is what's really interesting. When a word suddenly changes and people pounce on you because you used a word innocently, but now it means something else, it gets really, it gets frustrating, as a linguist, because I want people to speak and not be afraid of it. Sure, look, like I did not know that about you, that if I said to you, "So what do you do?" you'd be like, "Hey, wait a minute." So, it's up to us to tell somebody if they say something that offends us. You may not want to say that to me because I take offense, but right now, I don't know. There's a movement to get rid of the word field and change it to something else. That was in the news today.
How would you say the corn is in the field?
The corn is in the crop or in the, cornfield.
The soil?
In the garden?
Geez. There's a lot of words I'd love to get rid of, but I don't know about field.
Yeah, and I was really kind of surprised about that one. Well, I'm really curious. We mentioned how I mentioned earlier that there's a lot of idioms that are confusing to non-native speakers. What I read this morning was the top 4 were to catch some Z's. I gotta go catch some Z's.
To get some sleep. Yeah.
Why do we say Z's?
I don't know, because when we snore.
Yeah, exactly. To break a leg. Break a leg sounds kind of nasty.
Well, that's a state, theater people are very superstitious. So
exactly.
So did you ever see, what was that movie?
That movie?
What movie was it?
How about a hint?
The producers. The Broadway show, and then later a movie with Broderick. Matthew Broderick, and they were trying to kibosh a show, and they were putting up like ladders and people having the actors go under the ladder, and of course because they wanted the show to kibosh so they could collect the insurance money, but all that comes from. I once was in a theater production, and the stage director said, "If anyone even references this Shakespearean play, you will be outed." And I'm like,
"You mean like ousted, like you're gone?"
Yeah. He was like, don't even mention that Shakespearean play. So apparently, and I used to know what play it was. Apparently there was a Shakespearean play, and you just don't talk about it in a stage production because it will kibosh the show.
It's bad luck.
It's bad luck. And breaking a leg, if you get wished to break a leg, you won't break your leg.
Isn't it bad luck to be superstitious?
Well, yeah. Well, yesterday, Friday the 13th. Oh my gosh,
that's my best day.
Think about it. I had the best day yesterday.
That's my best day. That Friday the 13th is always my best day. I don't know why. I'm glad it is for you too. We kind of turn things around on Friday the 13th. At least for us, we do. Here's one that's really confusing. To kick the bucket.
Oh, yes. To die.
Now, do you know why it means that?
I have no idea, but I love it.
Because it comes from hanging yourself, and you're standing on the bucket. You kick it out from underneath you.
Oh my gosh, that's graphic.
I know. Well, it's like what you said earlier about rule of thumb. Remember? We talked about that before too.
Yes.
That also came from something dark. Awful. Well, yeah, dark about you could beat your wife with a stick that's no thicker than your thumb or something like that. Yeah, we have some really violent idioms. So we're going to talk about it in just a second, actually. And last one was
David. You know what I tell my mom? This is awful.
Uh-oh.
Well, I tell her when you kick the bucket, I'm throwing all this stuff out of the house because my mother is like, my mom and dad are kind of minimal hoarders. You know, they're old and they just like save everything. And I'll just tell my mom, when you kick the bucket or you turn up the daisies, I'm going to just throw all this away. So, you know, I don't know why you're holding on to it, because it's going to go.
See, I like using slang for die. With my mom, I would always say to croak. That's what she'd say. You know, once I croak, because it makes it a little bit lighthearted, because we don't want to think about that. We don't want to ever think about someone dying. So when you use it in slang, it just kind of makes it funny, because, you know,
that is
death
funny.
Can croak. Be a hoot.
To croak.
To croak. So that at least we get a little laugh out of it. So I thought it would be fun to turn the tables a little bit. We just talked about some of our slang or our idioms that are really confusing to non-native speakers. So I want to hear your idioms. Tweet us at Slinging the Slang. Give us one of your idioms from your country. Translate it literally for us, and we'll see if Monica, it's always Monica, will understand it. And if I do too, you might want to also let us know what it really means. Let me know so I can test Monica and embarrass her. Oh, we have it already. Maria from Spain. Oh, I think we
have a very international crowd.
We do. Well, and that's what's fun, because, well, like I said, these are the idioms that will confuse us. So now it's your turn. All of you non-native speakers, you can really test us and see if we understand your idioms. You're taking my hair. Monica, you're taking my hair. You're taking my hair.
It sounds to me like you're making me crazy, you know, when you.
Okay, well, let me use it in context. Monica, are you taking my hair? Come on.
Oh, are you joking?
Are you joking?
Are you pulling my leg?
Are you pulling my leg? Exactly. Oh, by the way, a long time ago, I don't know if you heard about this, and it's real. It's not a myth. Braniff Airlines. Have you heard of them?
Okay. Yes. Oh, yeah. I flew long ago and far away.
Okay. They had an advertisement in Spain that didn't go over so well. They translated it into Spanish. They were trying to advertise their first class seats, which are in leather. So they said in Spanish, fly in leather. Well, in leather, en cuero is a Spanish expression. And anybody who's hearing me right now, who is a native of the Spanish language, is probably laughing, because fly in leather, en cuero, means naked. Come fly naked with us. I'd want to see the lineup of passengers on that flight.
No wonder they were the #1 airlines back in the 70s.
Of course, because they're all flying en cuero. Exactly.
All the nudists were on that Braniff air flights.
Yes, all the instead of in first class where they were hoping they would be. We have Lars.
But only in first class.
Only first class. That's right. Where you and I would be, we'd be fully clothed, I think. All right, Lars from Sweden. Oh, here's an interesting expression from Sweden. Okay. He was caught with his beard in the mailbox.
He was caught with his beard in the mailbox? Is it kind of like being caught with your hand in the cookie jar?
Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty, as you would say, transparent. That's a good one, though.
I love it.
But for a woman, I mean, that's going to be, you know, an interesting look for a woman. She got caught with her beard. Yeah, Lars, let us know. What would you say for a woman? I'm pretty curious about that one.
Hair.
What did we say? Got caught with your pants down. Got caught with your hand in the cookie jar. Got caught red-handed. Why red?
Oh yeah, got caught red-handed.
Maybe red-handed because your hand gets slapped away or something like that. See, we can make things up here too.
Yeah, let's make things up.
Irene from the Philippines. Oh, hello, Irene from the Philippines. Mabuhay. I think that means welcome. Oh, I do know this one. Okay, I will say it out of context to see if you can guess it.
Okay.
Baptize it already.
get going?
Yes.
Let's
Monica,
go.
come on.
Baptize
Baptize
it
it
already.
already.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Get on with it.
I love it.
That's a great one.
Baptize it already. I
may have
love
to
it.
use that in my daily
Get the
conversation.
show on the road.
Right. Get the show on the road already. Baptize it already. Agata from Poland. Dzień dobry. That means hello. That I know. My grandmother is Polish. So that I do know. That and some other words I can't say on the air that I've heard my grandmother say. But I haven't heard her say this one. Agata, this is an interesting one. Monica, why do you have flies up your nose today? Well, Monica, you really have flies up your nose today.
And why are you irritated? Why are you
you're
edgy?
Because you're all bent out of shape, I guess. You're kind of making weird faces.
Out of shape. Yeah.
Well, that's a good one. That's a good American expression. Another one that would probably confuse non-native speakers. But you have to have flies up your nose. That's a good one.
Flies up your nose.
Because you're doing this, you're making all sorts of faces. We have my favorite name, Olaf from Norway. Olaf, what's that character?
I just got a chill when you said Norway.
But what do you think of when I say Olaf?
I thought Spanish.
No, I think of the snowman from Frozen. Is it from Frozen? Yeah, Frozen.
Olaf. Olaf. I thought you said Ola.
Ola. No, Olaf.
Olaf. Yes, Olaf from Frozen. Yes.
But he spells it with a V. O-L-A-V. Olaf from Norway.
Oh, okay. But Olaf from Frozen was O-L-A-F.
Oh, he was. Okay, but it's pronounced the same at least. So there. Yes. So that's why I kind of made that sort of.
I totally corrected you, David.
Yeah, but and you're and you're right. All right. Blah 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 blah. So you got one on me this time, just one. We should have a little scorecard behind us. Monica.
Yes.
Just tell me from the liver. From the liver.
Oh, is it like from your heart? Like, just be honest?
Yes, without sugarcoating it. Just tell me from your liver. Very good.
So the liver
is where honesty
is it like
resides.
The heart for some cultures?
I guess I'm going to say, I guess so. I mean, when your liver, you know how they say, boy, you've got so much bile. You're so nasty.
Yeah.
So I guess, tell me so honestly that it might cause bile. It might give you some pain, but I want to hear it from your liver instead of from your heart.
It could be risky. The truth could be risky, but I want to hear it. And and the liver is an important organ of the body. So
yes, I'm all for the liver. Yes. Lovely pate. As my favorite chef would say.
It processes all that alcohol that
Julia Child.
Yeah.
That's right.
Very important.
That's right. What the alcohol or the processing of what the liver does for you. We have David. Oh, David from France. David from France.
Ooh.
Hello, David. I have other cats. I have other cats to whip. Oh yeah, I do know this one.
That sounds dark. A bigger fish to fry?
No, actually, that's what I would have thought. It means I have other things to do. Listen, Monica, I have other cats to whip. Can you please
baptize I have a lot
it
on my
already?
Plate.
Baptize it already. I got other cats to whip. But we say weird things about cats too. What is it? The worst one? There's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yes. Yeah.
Or even the cat's got your tongue. The cat's got your tongue.
They get it in idioms, right?
Too. Oh, they do. Yeah. I mean, cats
and dogs get things like it's a dog's life. You know, they get it easy.
Dog's day.
Yeah.
Dog eat dog. Dog eat dog.
Oh, that's right. Dog eat dog.
That's right. Another one from France. We have Laurent. I love that name. Laurent from France. He gave us two of them. Oh, yeah. He said our two most popular expressions. I have the cockroach today. That's number one. I have a
cockroach today?
I have the cockroach, not just any cockroach, the cockroach. I have the cockroach.
The cockroach. I have the cockroach today.
Should I give it to you in context?
Okay, wait a minute. I want to know something.
Yes.
Clue. Is it
Clue.
negative or positive?
It's negative.
Well,
It's negative.
that's what I thought, because it's a cockroach, but sometimes
cockroach
that
today.
throws you off. I have.
I'm giving you a clue.
I'm
giving
sad.
You a clue.
I have the blues.
Yes, I got the blues. I have the cockroach today.
Oh.
J'ai le cafard. I have the cockroach.
How do you say? Do you know the word cockroach in French?
Oui, it's le cafard. C-A-F-A-R-D, like cafard, but they say j'ai le cafard aujourd'hui.
It sounds so pretty in French.
Yeah, it's funny. When I was a tour guide at Universal Studios, I gave tours in a few different languages, including French. And the other tour guides used to say, "Oh, cuss me out in French, but make it sound really pretty and romantic." Yeah, French does sound pretty and romantic. So yeah, I could say anything to you and make it sound just so beautiful. And you'd be like, thank you. I got to remember that after we get off the air. The other expression that I guess will sound pretty in French, it is, I have the mustard rising in my nose. Oh yeah,
it's on the tip of my tongue.
No, I have. Imagine mustard. It's hot.
Wait, mustard.
Nose.
I thought you said I have the word.
No, I have the mustard.
Oh, the mustard.
The mustard rising up my nose.
I have the mustard rising. Oh, I'm getting angry.
Yes, because it's starting to sting. J'ai la moutarde qui monte au nez. You're right. That sounds pretty in French.
Oh, and with that hand expression, that really adds to it.
It's interesting you just said that. My dad spoke to me in French growing up. And he used to say, if you want to speak French, because he spoke beautiful French, he said, first you have to become French. So he used to make my twin, Nancy, and me speak in English with a French accent. He would make us speak in English with a French accent. They said, good. Now, I want you to add the hand gestures that they use in France. Exactly. And now put the French on top of that. J'ai la moutarde qui monte au nez. And then you sound French. And you look French. First, you got to become the nationality. Isn't that funny? Every little breeze seems to whisper Louise. That was from Maurice Chevalier back in the day.
That reminds me. That reminds me
again.
That reminds me of a comedy. I can't remember the name of it, but these two actors were sitting on a bench and they were pretending to, I don't know, speak Yiddish, and they were just adding an accent to English words. They were spies or something. It was hysterical.
It's funny. I don't know why that reminded me. My mother's favorite Yiddish insult, translated literally, may every tooth in your head fall out, except for one, and may that one tooth hurt. You have to say it just like that. Just to push it forward. Hurt. Just like that.
Hurt.
Hurt.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
So speaking of, we have one more. Okay, Sophie from Germany. Speaking of food, our favorite topic. I'll use you in the sentence instead. Monica is playing the insulted sausage today. Monica, you're really playing the insulted sausage today. And she says this is one of our most popular idioms in German.
I would say that I am feeling sorry for myself.
Well,
a little
worse.
I'm being sensitive. I'm being too sensitive.
You're actually ticked off. Boy, but I think you're kind of right. Yeah, you're being a little overly sensitive and angry about it. Like, boy, you're really playing the insulted sausage today. So you're ticked off.
Sausage.
How about that? Okay, so we've talked about, I love idioms, because if you translate them literally or interpret them literally, you're going to get yourself into a lot of trouble. Speaking of which, a lot of marketers, they use idioms, like we mentioned with Braniff and Cuero in leather, incorrectly, because they don't do their homework. People, you have to call us. Let us know, marketers out there.
Call us.
Okay, Clairol, they launched a curling iron. In Germany, the curling iron was called the Mist, M-I-S-T, the Mist Stick, S-T-I-C-K. The Mist Stick.
The Mist Stick.
Didn't that sound nice?
Oh, Mystic, Mist Stick.
Well, yeah,
play on words there.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay, in English, it's a play on words. Now, in Germany, mist means manure, the manure stick. That's what the mist stick meant in Germany when they saw the Clairol's.
No. What was it really? What was it, like deodorant or something?
A curling iron. It was a curling iron.
Curling?
Called the mist
right.
stick.
It was the one that you put water in at the top and you would push the button and mist. I had one of those.
Yeah, and you're using the manure stick. Okay, then. So Colgate. Now I know this one because I lived in France for a while. They launched CUE toothpaste, and Q in French means the lower. I'll say it in nice language. Your rear end. That's le cul. So Q is also the name of a pornographic magazine in France. So that's what Colgate launched, the pornographic rear end toothpaste. So who knows? Maybe it sold really well. Your rear end. I want to know what the sales were on that. Oh, Coors. They had one too. In Spain, they translated their campaign, turn it loose, into Spanish. And guess what? They did it literally, turn it loose. And it meant, can you have any idea? Turn it loose.
Turn it loose.
Turn it loose.
Just lose your marbles.
Lose your marbles. Ooh, good slang to go crazy. No, it means enjoy some diarrhea. Turn it loose. Ah, lovely. Okay, I've got two more for you. And we talked about this because of your husband, Paulo, who is from Brazil.
Paulo from Brazil.
Okay, Ford Pinto. I know I think we talked about this, or I thought about asking him about this. In Brazil, the Ford Pinto didn't sell too well because Pinto in Portuguese means little tiny genitals. So the teenage guys.
You did say it, David. I was like, is he going to say it?
Well, that's a medical word, right? It's a medical term.
Yes, you kept it medical.
I did. And they were hoping the teenage boys would be like, I want to drive the Ford Pinto, but all the Brazilian boys were like, I'm going to advertise. And no, so they did not sell too well. The last one. The Mercedes-Benz entered the Chinese market with the name of Benzi, B-E-N-S-I.
Oh.
Yeah. And that means in Chinese, evidently, hurry up and die.
Get a Mercedes and then just die.
And then just die. It kind of reminds me of the Chevy Nova, which evidently was a myth.
Oh, I know the story of the Chevy Nova.
But did you know it's not true? Unfortunately, I looked it up on I forgot on Snopes.com. They're the ones who debunk things.
It's not true?
It's not true, and I love that story.
It's such a good story.
The Chevy
this car doesn't go.
No go. The Chevy no go.
Do you know, David, this story is actually, I won't mention the publisher, but this is actually in an ESL textbook, a very well-known and well-used ESL textbook, that story about Nova.
Oh, really? Did they? And they talk about it as it was something.
Yeah, it's a unit on
mistakes
on marketing, and they go through some marketing faux pas, and they have 4 marketing faux pas, and one of them is about the Chevy Nova and that exact story. So that's why I knew about it. But if it's not true,
it's not even true. I do have one that is true. That I don't know if I ever told you about this. It happened to me. I think we talked about this. I can't remember. We talk about everything. When Warner Brothers had their stores all around the country, they called me from Warner Brothers here in LA, and they said, we had a slang disaster. We want you to come in and talk to our people so this does not happen again.
Oh
And
my
I
goodness.
said, what are you talking about? So I went
What was
there.
A slang disaster?
They told their Japanese partners that they're going to shelve the project. And the
Shelve the project.
and the
Okay,
Japanese,
it's over. We're not doing this anymore.
we're shelving it. Done.
Yeah,
And they bowed and they went back to Japan and created millions of dollars worth of products to put onto the shelves of the stores. They didn't know our slang. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, no.
It was the opposite meaning. And we could have that same issue. Like you mentioned Ireland, we were talking about Prince Harry, England. So when we say, for example, it's an opposite, to table the conversation. We're saying, and that's an idiom, to end the conversation. We're going to table it. In England, it means to put it on the table. We're going to start talking about it.
Oh,
So
wow.
sometimes we don't even know from English-speaking country to English-speaking country. Sometimes you just got to ask. So on that note, which I mean, I love this topic. I love the
on that note
of idioms and the confusion of idioms. That's so much fun in both directions, foreign idioms and American idioms, English idioms, American idioms. I love the confusion that it all kind of creates.
Yeah, confusion can be fun.
Oh, I love confusion. Oh, confusion's fun. But we do hope that your week is certainly not confusing. We hope that you don't have the cockroach this week. We hope that may all of your missed sticks be operable. I'm trying to see how I'm trying to segue into a nice conclusion here, using like everything we just talked about. And that may you not turn it loose this week and just have a great, wonderful week. And if you do want to speak like Monica and I speak, which I'm always like,
your dream.
Your dream. If you want to speak slang like us and you're a non-native speaker, please, we have something for you. Go to slangman.com and do check out my books.
And we look forward to having you chill with us again as David and I continue
to
sling
the slang. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you next time for another topic. What that will be, we don't know. We'll find out. Till next time.